After enduring more than 100 days of darkness, this brown bear finally gave birth to her cub before entering the cave. The mother brown bear eats nearly 40 kilograms of fish every day to ensure she has enough fat to survive the long winter. Now, she is running out of fat. If she can't find food soon, her milk will dry up, making survival difficult for both her and her cub. The mother brown bear, named Aurora, has no choice but to leave the cave with her cub, crossing snow-capped mountains in search of food. This is the first time the cub has been outside the cave. The bright, snow-covered mountains contrast sharply with the pitch-black cave they just left. 5 months ago, Aurora climbed several mountains and worked tirelessly to dig this cave. But now, she must leave with her cub and embark on a difficult journey to find food. Nearly half of all brown bear cubs die at this stage as they are too slow and vulnerable. First time Mother Aurora struggles to make her cub keep pace, doing her best to lead the way. The rising temperature is not always a good thing for them. As the snow covering the mountains melts, avalanches follow. Ice and snow fall at 130 kilometers per hour, destroying everything in their path. Aurora is lucky. They were dangerously close to the avalanche. Had they been caught in it, survival would have been impossible. And this avalanche is just the beginning. As temperatures continue to rise, avalanches will become even more frequent. They must keep moving and leave the mountains as soon as possible. Amber, the cub, has found an efficient way to travel, clinging tightly to his mother's back. However, his brother, Lon, didn't get a free ride this time and has to follow on foot. After a week of struggling through the mountains, Aurora finally arrives at the last snow-capped peak. The other side of this mountain is their destination. The climb is steep even for Aurora, but they have no choice but to press on. After much effort, they finally reach the top and spot green land in the distance. Hope is near. The next part of the journey is easier, a continuous downhill trek. Aurora picks up the scent of pasture and quickens her pace. The cubs, sensing food, run excitedly towards the green land. After 2 days, Aurora and her cubs finally arrive at the ranch, exhausted. Amber, having ridden on his mother's back most of the journey, is the least tired. He climbs up at every opportunity. The little bears are amazed by what they see. Dozens of brown bears have gathered at the pasture, something they've never witnessed before. However, food remains scarce, and the vegetation alone is not enough to sustain them. They must wait for the return of the migratory fish. Hunger has made all the bears restless and aggressive, leading to frequent fights. Under normal circumstances, gray wolves avoid provoking brown bears, but food shortages force them to take desperate measures. A starving wolf sets its sights on the bear cubs. Aurora knows she is stronger than the wolf, but she also knows that the wolf can easily snatch away one of her cubs. Leaving the area is the best option. To ensure the wolf does not follow, Aurora crosses a river with her cubs. As always, Amber clings to Aurora's back, but this time, he will learn that his mother's back is not always the safest place. Aurora unknowingly leads her cubs into an unknown area where they encounter a starving adult brown bear. The bear eyes Aurora and her cubs hungrily. Desperate for food, he might even attack and eat the cubs. Aurora stands her ground, shielding her cubs and preparing for a fight. The hungry bear circles around her, looking for an opening to strike. But Aurora remains vigilant, leaving no room for an attack. Eventually, the hungry bear moves on, and Aurora once again successfully protects her cubs. However, she doesn't dare to stay in one place for long. She isn't sure if the bear will return. This year has been unusual. The coastline has changed significantly as tides recede, exposing large areas of sediment. Beneath the silt, many surprises lie hidden. Aurora, with her keen sense of smell, detects food buried in the sand. She digs eagerly, uncovering a succulent feast. But one is not enough. She must find more before the tide rises. Amber stays by her side while Lon, unlike his brother, starts imitating Aurora by digging for food. However, he struggles to open the hard shells of the creatures he finds. Worse still, his paw gets stuck inside a shell, and he can't pull it out. Meanwhile, Aurora continues searching, unaware that she has wandered far from shore. The tide begins to rise rapidly, surrounding them. By the time Aurora realizes what's happening, she rushes toward the shore with Amber, but she doesn't notice that Lon isn't following. The cub, exhausted, has fallen asleep on the mudflat, oblivious to the rising water. When Lon finally wakes up, he panics and calls out for his mother. Seeing the rising sea, he makes a risky decision, swimming toward the shore alone. Despite the danger, Lon makes it to the shore and reunites with his family. A week later, the temperature continues to rise, completely submerging the beach. Aurora can no longer find food here, forcing her to return to the pasture with her cubs. But the migratory fish have not arrived yet, leaving the bears with only grass to eat. After another week of waiting, the first wave of migratory fish reaches the coast, bringing hope to the starving brown bears. They dive into the water, frantically catching fish. However, there are still too few fish and fights break out among the bears. To avoid injuries, Aurora keeps her distance. But staying away presents a new danger: the gray wolf. It has been secretly following Aurora, waiting for the perfect opportunity to attack. What surprises the wolf, however, is that Lon, instead of running, turns to face it head-on.